If you move in the north of Italy, center, you have this deduction of 70%, which is a big tax discount. Only 30,000 is your income. Hello guys, welcome back to ESENtaxa. Andrea Papito here, and in this video I'm going to talk about the INPS clarification for the Impatriate regime. Finally, we have the answer, the famous answer that we all are waiting, and we all want to hear. Best news, I would say, not the good news, the best news. Finally, the INPS, the Social Contribution National Institution, clarified the calculation for the pension in Italy while you're applying the Impatriate regime and when you are a Lavoro Autonomo, which is the freelancer or self-employed type of income when you're performing an activity as a professional and not as an entrepreneur. So this is specific for this type of activity. Now, if you're new in this channel, ESENtaxa talks about how to optimize your taxation in long term. If you want to relocate to Italy, we are the #1 channel that in English language explains you very in details everything about the Italian tax system and how to optimize taxes as much as possible. We also cover Portugal, Belgium, and Albania as jurisdictions. Now, in this specific video, I want to put on some tables. I just put some numbers actually, and just to give you a glimpse of how now the Impatriate regime is, I think, is the most powerful tax benefit that we can have in all Europe. Okay, each and every situation is different, so each and every person has to pass through a consultancy to understand exactly first if the Impatriate regime works for them, if they're eligible, because we provide an eligibility test service. After that, how it's convenient to move to Italy through the Impatriate regime, but also with other incomes from all over the world, because Italy taxes you on worldwide income, and worldwide income, the foreign income, is not part of the Impatriate regime, so we have to make sure that makes sense for you. We also provide you tax simulations for this, so we're going to check in very details, take into account the commune of your residence in Italy, and take into account all the possible deduction that you can have with your business, and see exactly what is your profit and what is your tax to pay and social contribution to pay. Now, I just want to give you an idea, a general idea. If you relocate first in the north of Italy or center of Italy, which is the place where the Impatriate regime works at 70% tax-free of your income, and in the south of Italy, where basically the Impatriate regime works with a 90% deduction of your income. If you don't know what is the Impatriate regime, because maybe it happens to be the first time to watch our videos, you can find it in the description below the video general information about the IRPEF taxation, so how the taxation individuals works in Italy, what is the Impatriate regime, and also my video in which I explain exactly what was the issue before this clarification, why we had all this kind of concern about the Impatriate regime, why only certain type of income was sure and other were uncertain. Indeed, I was using the software of the accountants in Italy to show you why some accountants had a different opinion on this law. But finally, we have the clarification. So it's good that you look at the video so you will understand exactly what was the issue. And now you really check and rewatch this video, and you understand even more, even better, what I'm talking about right now. But let's now focus on the percentage. How much tax I'm going to spare now in Italy? So if I move in the north, I just simulate an income, well, a profit. So this is also after already removed your coherent cost with your business activity. So after the deduction, so this is the profit. If you move in the north of Italy or center, you have this deduction of 70%, which is a big tax discount. Only 30,000 is your income, from which now we calculate the INPS. Okay, so this is the clarification. At the beginning, we were not sure if this 26% Social Security INPS was calculated on the profit of 100,000, so on this number, or on this number. Okay, so to be in the safe side, we were always suggesting to calculate it on this number. In worst case, you can have received a reimbursement, but now we are sure we have a clarification. So you calculate the INPS on the 30,000 euro, and what remains will be taxed at the ordinary Italian tax rate, which is the IRPEF taxation. So now here I put in the columns the actual tax pressure only, so 5.2%, and the tax pressure, the estimate tax pressure plus social contribution combined, so it's only 13%. If you move forward, you will see a nice thing here. The social contribution in Italy is capped at a certain limit. So if your profit grows a lot, Here I also put 2 million euro as a profit. The social contribution remains always 29,000 euro and something. This is because the maximum social contribution that you can pay, it's calculated on this. It's a percentage of 26% calculated on this amount of money, which is every year indexed based on the inflation rate. Okay, so you have this fixed social security at a certain point, but it's basically it's something that is nothing compared to million euro of profit. You see, then the taxation is on 600,000 euro, deducting also the social security, and the fiscal pressure or the tax pressure. It's 11% here and 13% if we take into account this 29,000 euro. Okay, now what happened if we move in the south of Italy? Look, because then take into account the same scenarios, 100,000 euros profit, your income is only 10,000. You calculate the social security only on this. So you're going to pay 2,600 euro. Then what remains here, it's just a very small amount of money that given as an input on the IRPEF taxation will gives back this 1,700 euro in tax to pay. And the tax pressure is 1%. Only 1% taxes. It's crazy, huh? Plus the social security combined will be a tax pressure, let's call it a pressure of 4.3%. Okay, it grows slightly, even up to 1 million, you have 5%, or if you only consider taxes, it's only 2.5%. Okay, now again, this percentage are an estimation, just to give you the idea of how much taxes more or less you're going to pay. It changes slightly based on your situation, and again, we really recommend you to have a tax simulation with us. In the description below the video, you will find our email contact info@ESENtaxa.com, or alternatively, you can have a 15 minutes free call in which we can understand exactly your issue, and based on your issue, based on your description, based on your problem, we can guide you through our services, which makes sense for you. So it can be an eligibility test for the Impatriate Regime, can be a 1-hour tax consultancy, can be a tax simulation, just a video course, because some of you guys are real geek on taxes and they want to know really well the Italian taxation. So we put in place 3 hours course plus other 2 extra modules. You will see in our offer in the website, www.esentaxa.com. We put also these modules to just give you all the possible scenarios, all the way the Italian tax system works, because you want to know everything by yourself. You do not want to, you don't like to have somebody like that tells you what to do. You just want to learn by yourself, and you can deal with yourself with Italian taxes. So we also have this option with our own online course. I will put all the information in the description below the video. I will also put a link to the Italian tax agency clarification. Well, it's not really an Italian tax agency clarification. It's basically a table that has been put in place between the Italian tax agency, the INPS, Social Security National Institution, and the labor consultant. So I'm gonna quickly show you this document. So this is the document. It's a protocol document, release 28/4/2023, very recent. And here at page 6, we will have finally here the solution of this problem. So, and for those who like going through the details, and for those who speak Italian amongst you guys, you can have a look at this article, which goes very, very in details at the technical level, how to declare it, how to declare this income in your Italian tax file return, or through the software used by the accountant. But mostly you have basically the correct interpretation that has been explicitly written or explicitly described in these lines. Okay, Italy is going to be the next tax haven in Europe, because with this kind of tax pressure or social contribution pressure, you're going to be a tax haven. Actually, how much social contribution you pay in a country. Now, it's true that if you pay a very small amount of social contribution in Italy, you're not going to have a big pension in the future. But a lot of you guys are not intended to care about the public pension in the future. They just want to earn a lot of money possible. They have a private pension plan aside, or a good pension plan in your country, or you have a passive income in the future that you're going to build in all those years. And that's the reason why you want to have in your pocket as much money possible. So you have your own plan to go to live out of your incomes in the future without withdrawing pension from countries here and there, or not even from Italy. So instead, if you're looking for a good pension, of course, then the Impatriate regime is not meant for you, because of course you're going to pay a very small amount of social security, and you will get back a very small pension in the future if you decide to stay in Italy for more than 5-10 years, okay? Or if you decide to retire in Italy. Also, the tax simulations that we provide helps us and helps you to understand if the tax regime makes sense for you, because we also have the high net worth individual tax regime, which sometimes might be more useful and more suitable for you rather than the Impatriate regime. But depends where you have your business, what kind of activity, if you have a family, if you're alone. There are a lot of factors that we have to take into account, and we do it through our consultancy services. Again, stay tuned in ESENtaxa. Subscribe the channel, like button and notification bell to be always updated whenever we release this kind of news and this kind of important updates. Thanks for watching, and see you the next time.